Hello all, welcome to the JavaScript for Pentesters course at Pentester Academy. So in this video, we will look at the solution to task 19, which is multi-level HTML parsing. So let's jump right in. Now this is based on the previous exercise in which we learned how to parse HTML coming in as the response to an XML HTTP request. So we are going to build on that knowledge. So challenge 19 tells us to find John's credit card number using an XSS vulnerability, display it in the div with ID result, and post the credit card number to the attacker's server. So let's first analyze the entire problem manually. Now we have a link which says user settings for UID 3476. Let me open this up in a new terminal. We can clearly see that the link seems to have a CSRF token on it. And here we find get credit card info. Let's view the source code of the page, and here we have a form element which seems to be hidden and has a random value. Again, name is CSRF underscore token. Okay, and we are requested to enter the UID, and here we see that the UID is 3476. So let's try entering 3476. Click on a submit, and if you notice, this basically calls get credit card with the UID and the CSRF token, and the response is another HTML page with the credit card number in there. Now let's analyze the source, and you would notice that the credit card number is displayed within a div with the ID result. Fantastic. So there are two steps to the problem. The first, of course, is to go ahead and call this page, which opens up to the form, and to figure out the CSRF token, which is the hidden field in the form, and then to take the UID by parsing this string, and then finally posting it to get credit card and parsing the HTML page which it returns. So in this challenge, we have to parse HTML twice. So let me show you how I've laid out the solution. There are a million ways to get this accomplished. I've tried to keep it as beginner friendly as possible. You are free to optimize the solution further and post it on Twitter, and copy us on SecurityTube, and if it's an interesting solution, we will retweet it. Okay, so the first part is really to go ahead and find the link to the first page, which is the user setting page. And once again, if we look at inspect element, we'll clearly see that this is inside a tag with ID settings. So we do a get element by ID settings to fetch it. We define the first XHR, we define the second XHR, and after that we also define CSRF underscore token and UID, right, which we will populate later on in the code. Now if we scroll down, the first thing we do is we fetch the UID from the link, and after that we make a request to that URL using link.href as the actual URL. Now if you remember from the previous video, it is important that we actually set the response type to document if we want HTML parsing. So this is what we do, like in the previous case, and then we initiate the send. So this will result in the HTML page getting returned, and the request on ready state change function would be invoked, which is this part in here. Now within this, we first check, of course, if we actually have the request.status to be 200 and the ready state 4, just like before, and then we actually go ahead and get the request.response XML, which is really the HTML page. Now because we are allowed to parse this using regular DOM based parsing, we directly pick up the CSRF token using HTML page.form0.element0.value, right? Just like we've done in previous videos. Now just to verify we have the CSRF token, I momentarily added an alert in here. Of course, that is optional. Now once we have the CSRF token through the form, what we need to do is we need to go ahead and again submit the UID and the CSRF token to getCreditCard to fetch the HTML page which contains the credit card number on it. So this is what we do in here. We make a second XHR request to getCreditCard with UID, what we parsed on the first page. CSRF token is what we've just recovered. Of course, because this is HTML parsing, again we set the response type to document. Now in request 2, we go ahead and again do HTML parsing, and in this case we pick up the credit card number using getElementById result.innerHTML and populate that in the first page's result div, right, just like we wanted, and then post the credit card number again to the attacker server using the image trick. Fantastic. So this is the entire code. I would want you to type this out by yourself. You're free to pause the video and type it. It is important that you type this by yourself rather than me giving you a code dump somewhere, right? So let me import this out, copy it, go up here to the first page, URL is the vulnerable parameter, paste it in, and before that let me also start the attacker server on port 8001, and there we go. Here we get the CSRF token, and here we have our credit card number now displayed and also posted to the attacker server, right? Fantastic. So I hope you enjoyed this challenge. This is a very unique one, and even though we've done 2-level HTML parsing, this can of course be extrapolated to pretty much as many number of pages you would need to traverse to get your job done. If you're enjoying your time at Pentester Academy, then please do recommend us to your friends and colleagues in the InfoSec community. Thank you and have fun.